Welcome to TPM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If this is your first time watching the channel, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your SpectroMagical host, Jiminy Cricket. Everybody at TPM Vids wants to welcome you to enjoy this look into SpectroMagic.
Hey, thanks, Jiminy.
It's my pleasure. You know, somehow Disney Fantasy seems a little more alive at night. In fact,
It was Walt's favorite time at the park.
I was just gonna say that.
Well, nighttime seems to be a lot of people's favorite time at the park. The SpectroMagic Parade debuted at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World on October 1st, 1991, and it was a nighttime offering that was not to be missed. Our pal Jiminy Cricket hosted the parade, and it included all your favorite Disney characters, combined with lights, fiber optics, music, and magic. It was truly a moving gallery of lights synced with a movie musical score. Everything you'd expect at a Disney park.
It sure was. So, come along with us to see the magical worlds of Disney.
Thanks, Jiminy. I got it from here. But like he said, come along with us as we take a look at the history, the rise, and the fall of SpectroMagic. Number 10. Opening Day. SpectroMagic debuted at the Magic Kingdom on October 1st, 1991, created to celebrate the park's 20th anniversary. It replaced the Main Street Electrical Parade that ran at Walt Disney World from 1977 until 1991. It was also created so the Main Street Electrical Parade could be sent off to Disneyland Paris, which was set to open in 1992. Now, the story of SpectroMagic is quite simple. The Spectromen are the keepers of the night who hold all the magic to the parade, allowing it to light up. But these Spectromen were afraid to come out at night until their pal, Mickey Mouse, asked if they would help him bring the lights alive for everyone to see. The Spectromen and Mickey Mouse led the parade through a variety of floats, being the Whirly Balls, the Trumpeter's Float, the Mickey Mouse Float, and the SpectroMagic Title Float. Throughout the years, the sequence of these floats changed, and in our home video footage from opening week of SpectroMagic in 1991, the Trumpeters appeared before the grand finale floats. Later, in about November or December of 1991, the Trumpeters were moved and appeared before the Mickey float in the opening. Number 9. Float Facts. SpectroMagic was made up of 29 full units and 7 whirly units that brought the grand total of floats in the parade to 36. Now, every float had a driver hidden in the unit, but it was also computer controlled to sync the float lights with the music. Now, these 36 floats were broken up into 6 separate themes and sections of the parade. So first, we have the opening SpectroMagic units that we saw in number 10 that introduced the parade. Next was the Silly Symphonies, which were based on the Silly Symphony Disney cartoons that were produced between 1929 and 1939. The Sleeping Beauty Garden was the third section, which, if you couldn't guess, took inspiration from the 1959 film and also incorporated a mystical garden into the design. Next was The Little Mermaid, which was based on the 1989 animated film, where Ursula also appeared on her own whirly unit. Fifth was Fantasia, which featured characters and music from Walt Disney's 1940 feature film Fantasia. This section of the parade also featured the Chernabog float, which was capable of opening its wings to achieve a total wingspan of 30 feet 6 inches. There were certain areas of the parade route where he wasn't able to open his wings, so it was very common to think he was malfunctioning. The last section of units was the grand finale, which featured the 3 little pigs, Cinderella in her carriage, a giant carousel, followed by what looked like a train that featured many of your favorite Disney characters. Number 8. The Lights. SpectroMagic was a 20-minute parade that combined a variety of lights, fiber optics, and music. It included 600,000 lights that took 948 batteries to power and light the vehicles, as well as over 100 miles of fiber optic cable to connect all the lights. SpectroMagic used 10 different light colors plus white in the parade. The light technology on the floats and costumes had the capability of going from multicolored to all white lights, giving a more royal feel to the floats and characters. Every costume in the finale section of the parade contained an RF transmitter unit to allow the lights to change color. The unit that had the most lights was the carousel unit, which featured 54,892 individual lights. And overall, next to clear white, blue was the most used color in the parade. Since it was a night parade, you could say that the lights were the star of the show, but it wasn't just lights that made the spectacle. Liquid neon, light-spreading thermoplastics, gas plasma, liquid nitrogen, burst animation, and searchlights would all be used in this new parade, plus the use of prismatic lenses and reflection devices to enhance the lights. SpectroMagic also made use of a military-developed lighting technology called Quantex, which was first used on fighter jets and now appeared along the streets of Magic Kingdom on the wings of butterflies. Number 7. The music. Before the concept for SpectroMagic was carried out, it was referred to as Electro Magic. The original music designer for the parade was Don Dorsey, who was also the music designer for the Main Street Electrical Parade. During the development of Electro Magic, Dorsey wanted to slow down the Baroque hoedown and used that for Electro Magic. This was quickly turned down by Disney Creative Entertainment, so Dorsey would then step down, allowing Steve Scoraya to take over the position of music designer, and John Debney would then write the famous theme song On This Magic Night. It could be argued that On This Magic Night is one of the main reasons why this parade connected with so many people. The song, along with the entire parade orchestration, had that Disney feel, starting with the fanfare at the beginning of the parade. There's also something about the harmonies used in a lot of Disney park music and shows that also evoke this feel-good feeling and sense of Disney magic. The sound was heard a lot during the 90s and 2000s, and for a lot of people, this sound has become a sound of nostalgia. You heard it in old parades and many castle stage shows. More recently, this sound has been faded out with the introduction of more pop scores such as Festival of Fantasy or even the Paint the Night Parade at Disneyland. Number 6. The first hiatus. SpectroMagic ran for about 7 years, from October 1st, 1991 until May 20th, 1999, until it went on its first hiatus. Walt Disney World began the Millennium Celebration at the resort and changed up the park's offerings by replacing SpectroMagic with the Main Street Electrical Parade. Now, this version of the Electrical Parade that ran at the Magic Kingdom from 1999 until 2001 were the floats from Anaheim and not the original Walt Disney World floats. Those set of units were still at Disneyland Paris. Number 5. The Return. After the Millennium Celebration, it was time for the Magic Kingdom to light up SpectroMagic once again. On October 2nd, 2001, SpectroMagic debuted for the second time and looked better than ever. It featured the same iconic music, floats, and lighting technology with some minor noticeable changes. Number 4. The Magic Changes. The return of SpectroMagic brought along a few changes. First off, one thing that didn't change was the use of the original Walt Disney World logo that still appeared on the title float. By this time in the resort history, the new logo had been used since 1995. In the original run of SpectroMagic, Sebastian and Jiminy Cricket were both puppets controlled by a cast member. But in 2001, they were replaced by animatronics in the parade's return. Roger Rabbit also used to be the conductor of the Silly Symphonies unit. Since the Disney film catalog in 1991 wasn't as big as it is now, Roger Rabbit used to appear quite frequently in the parks. Well, in 2001, Roger Rabbit was replaced by the genie from Aladdin, with newly recorded dialogue.
Take it, Goofy!
Another change that came with the second run of SpectroMagic was the look of the Spectromen, but this change didn't happen until 2007. From 2001 until 2007, the Spectromen kept the color-changing heads that premiered in 1991, until they were replaced as face characters in 2007, where the performers' faces were painted and they wore fiber optic hats and wigs. It's hard to say which was creepier, the masks or the face characters. You decide. Number 3. The second hiatus. By this time, SpectroMagic was used to going on hiatus, so on June 5th, 2010, SpectroMagic ran the parade route for what was supposed to be its last performance for 90 days. The Main Street Electrical Parade from Anaheim was brought to the Magic Kingdom once again for Walt Disney World's Summer Night-tastic promotion. It was supposed to run only for the summer, but kept getting extended through the year. Since the parade returned from its promised hiatus in 2001, everyone thought that 2011 would follow suit, and SpectroMagic would soon be seen walking the parade route as it once did. And contrary to popular belief, this was actually true. Number 2. A spark of hope. Walt Disney World had all the intentions of bringing SpectroMagic back into the Magic Kingdom. It was even said that in 2011, the lighting company SYLVANIA was working on a deal with Disney to sponsor the return of the parade. Only there was one major problem. The SpectroMagic floats were poorly stored and essentially were left backstage to deteriorate. See, when maintenance went to prep the floats for their return, they were said to be in horrible condition and were beyond repair. Apparently, the floats were stored in a large tented outdoor location that didn't keep them protected from termites and the inclement Florida weather. So the Main Street Electrical Parade kept getting extended until it was announced to be an open-ended run. The SpectroMagic floats remained backstage for the time being. But guests were given a spark of hope when some of the parade floats were seen in November of 2012 for the Wine and Dine Half Marathon. There's even accounts of people who went on the Keys to the Kingdom tour between 2011 to 2013 that saw the SpectroMagic parade floats in the parade storage building behind Splash Mountain. People thought this was some sort of hope that a return was in the works. When Disney World borrowed the Main Street Electrical Parade in 2010, the floats had just been recently refurbished by Disneyland, so the parade was in great condition at the time. At this point, Walt Disney World had this night parade that Disneyland was letting them borrow and didn't currently want back. So they were able to still have a night parade without spending a dime on their own parade, SpectroMagic. Number 1. Glowing away. After much speculation about the return of SpectroMagic, an announcement was made by Walt Disney World in 2013 that a new parade, Festival of Fantasy, was to debut the following year. Shortly after this announcement in late June of 2013, many Disney World blog and news sources confirmed that pieces of the remaining SpectroMagic floats were seen in 6 trailer-style dumpsters backstage at Magic Kingdom. It was also never officially announced by Disney that SpectroMagic would glow away forever, never to return to the streets of the Magic Kingdom. The parade also never got an official send-off either, like most parades usually get. No one ever expected June 5th, 2010 to be the last performance ever of this display of lights, music, and spectacle that was loved and enjoyed by so many at the park. It was at this moment that SpectroMagic went down in the Walt Disney World history books and was never seen again. So what are your thoughts about the parade? Did you ever get a chance to see SpectroMagic in person? And since the Main Street Electrical Parade ended its run at the Magic Kingdom in October 2016, when do you think we'll see a new nighttime parade at the park? Leave a comment down below and start a conversation. If you have any videos from the Disney parks that you'd like to share with us to be used in future videos, follow the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Click the TPM icon on the screen to subscribe to this channel and check out some of these other videos which we're sure you'll like.